Well, good morning, Bethany Community Church. It's a snow day, so it's the first one in our church's history, and I got to be honest with you, I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad, but excited about God's different plans for our church this morning. We're hoping that you are staying warm and that you're safe, and that's very important. And so I think we've made the right decision. But still, it's a decision mingled with some sadness, as we're not able to gather together corporately to worship this morning. But I want to redeem the time, and I want to maybe provide even a little bit of a focus for you as you think about the Lord this morning, because I hope that you don't just sleep in this morning and not think about the Lord. I want to maybe provide just a couple thoughts for you from God's Word. We were going to begin 2 John this morning, but now that's not going to happen in the way that we thought it would, but maybe it can begin in a different way. The sermon was going to be a little bit on the long side, which is surprising, I'm sure, to no one. So what I thought we'd do is maybe share some thoughts this morning that can get us ahead for next week and provide some context for your worship this morning. 2 John was written by the Apostle John. It's 245 words in the Greek, 13 verses long in your English translation. And in 2 John, John is concerned about both truth and love. And this series title that we're looking at as we look at 2 John is Bound by Truth and Love. In other words, as a community of faith, we're not just loving one another. We're not just excited about the truth. We love one another with relationships that are founded upon the truth. And indeed, without relationships founded upon the truth, who Jesus is and how he desires us to live and what sacrificial love looks like, without that truth, there's no basis for love, or at least loving as God would have us love. And so we're going to talk about that as we go through 2 John and talk about how apart from the truth, we're not able to love one another sacrificially as we're supposed to. Our relationships are superficial without this unity of love, and our relationships indeed are in danger if deceivers come in. And so what I want to do is I want to read 2 John for you as you kind of turn your heart toward the Lord this morning. And as I read 2 John, I'm going to read it in 4 sections, because we're going to look at 4 messages over the coming weeks if the Lord allows. So here's John in the first 3 verses as we see an introduction to this epistle. And he's going to refer to the people to whom he's writing as the elect lady and her children. And that's, I believe, his designation for a church. The elect lady refers to the church as a whole, and then the dear children are the believers. Remember, children are a common designation that John uses for believers. We saw that in 1 John frequently. So here's what John writes. The elder to the elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth that abides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father and from Jesus Christ the Father's Son in truth and love. And so you see John's passion there for truth and love as he introduces this epistle. And then he talks about, in the next verses, which will form our second message, he talks about how they've begun, they're walking in the truth, and now he desires them to walk in love as well, and at least increasing in their ability to walk in love. But again, it's based upon the truth. So this is verses 4 through 6. I rejoice greatly to find some of you, your children, walking in the truth, just as we were commanded by the Father. And now I ask you, dear lady, not as though I were writing you a new commandment, but the one we have had from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. And this is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning, so that you should walk in it. And that's verses 4 through 6, as he encourages them to walk in love. And then he presents a danger to their walking in love in verses 7 through 11, as he talks about deceivers, those who would contradict the truth and prevent the truth from being the foundation of loving relationships. For many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch yourselves, so that you may not lose what we have worked for, but may win a full reward. Everyone who goes on ahead and does not abide in the teaching of Christ does not have God, and Whoever abides in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house or give him any greeting, for whoever greets him takes part in his wicked works. And then John concludes the epistle with these words. Though I have much to write to you, I would rather not use paper and ink. Instead, I hope to come to you and talk face to face so that our joy may be complete. The children of your elect sister greet you. That's 2 John, and I'm excited about our church's opportunity to continue to worship together as we look at this epistle in the coming weeks. And again, I'm sorry I don't get to worship with you this morning. Sorrowful. And I hope that you have a wonderful day still. Again, that you stay warm, that you stay safe, and that you're able to turn your thoughts and hearts toward the Lord, even though it's in a different context this morning. And look forward to, if the Lord allows, joining you next week. Have a wonderful day in the Lord.